Hi there, Brett. We're on the eve of the Queen's Plate Festival. It's been a long road to get here. A lovely Cape summer season. We're coming off a nice win in the Phillies Guineas and a really cracking run from Undercover Agent in the Green Point. And I'd like to start with Friday first. I mean, there's a feature on the day and a host of runners for us. I think 10 on the day. Second race, we have Engage and Beware, High Key, and Kingston Rock. Can you just talk to us about how they're doing, and it's a maiden, and sort of your thoughts on how to go through the form?
Troy, obviously a great festival weekend ahead of us. Tomorrow in the maiden, High Key, his first run wasn't a bad run. I'm expecting improvement from that, so I think he's a horse that could possibly get in the placings. Then we've got Kingston Rock, ran a very good race his last start behind Bulgarian, who subsequently won 2 in a row and is running in the Politician. So I think the form from that race is pretty strong. So Kingston's Rocks works at home been good, so definitely a horse to include. And Engage and Beware, a much better run last time. We rode him a bit differently from off the pace. He finished his race off really well, and it would be another horse to include in the quartets on the day.
Quartets, wonderful. I mean, Kingston Rock 6-1. Engage and Beware is an outside 14-1 and 18-1 on Interbet with High Key. So let's move on swiftly to race 4. We have Indiana. She's been coming along nicely from work at home.
Her last 2 starts have been good. We're going the mile with her now, which I think she should appreciate. So she's definitely a filly that's in good form at home and would definitely have a each-way chance on Friday.
Seems like a very strong, very competitive maiden. She jumps from draw 7. Do you think that sort of hinders her chances, and 6-1 is a fair assessment for her on Interbet?
Yeah, I think it's a very competitive race, Troy. And I'm not worried about the draw, but like you say, I think it's a competitive race on the day, but she's not without a chance.
Wonderful. She's now 1-2 on the trot.
Very much an upcoming filly, Troy. She's done very little wrong since we put her over ground. Obviously, this is a big step for her. She's not well in at the weights, considering her weight for age. So it's going to be a tough task. But I do think she's probably the filly with the most improvement to come in the race. And I just feel that she can definitely make the step. So I think she's a filly that must be included in everything. And I'm expecting a big run from her. Baroness Mary, very honest filly. What you see is what you get. Also a little bit under sufferance at the weights due to her merit rating. So it will be difficult for her. So if I had to choose out of the 2, I would definitely side with Princess Irene.
Princess Irene, and both very light in the weights. Both have wide draws. We'll see sort of how the race pans out. And do you have any plans on where they should be in the race, or do you think like the Kenilworth Straight is sort of?
Well, I think that's the beauty of the long running. I think it's quite fair now, so you can pretty much, as long as it's an honest pace, then I feel that both fillies can be pretty handy. But a lot will just depend on the initial pace of the race.
Perfect. And let's go on to the other feature on the day, which is the speed race, the Cartier Scepter Stakes. And you've got sort of a raider of sorts in Carlita. She's coming with some PE form, with Cornet aboard, and she's highly rated at 102 as a 3-year-old and takes on some sprinters. Can you tell us about how long you've had her, or sort of how you've gotten to know her?
She's been with us about a month, Troy. She's settled in exceptionally well. She's had 2 grass gallops. Both gallops have been really good. I feel that her work has improved with each week that she's been here. And on the way she's working, I think she's a filly that can definitely run in the places. So I think she's a very big price on Interbet at about 14-1. And I would suggest going a few places, because I do think that this filly can definitely run in the money. Obviously very competitive race with a couple of other horses. Clouds Unfold, obviously for me, would be the biggest danger. But this filly will run well.
Wonderful. So Cornet's gotten to know her really well, and obviously you think a place bet is a good option. And for those that are sort of feeling a 14-1 is worth a shout, definitely Interbet might have some options on the exchange betting. Have you sort of used that before, or do you think that's something to explore?
I do a lot of my personal stuff on Interbet. It's one of the few platforms that feed directly into the tote, which for me is a win, as because that's basically the bottom line where stake money is drawn from in South African racing. So Interbet's definitely the place to play your tote bets. And I must say, I think it's an extremely good site with a very good platform to look at. So definitely, if you're not an Interbet customer, I suggest you look at it.
Wonderful. And then the last runner is Ikebana, an honest sprinting filly who's run a couple of places of recent in the 1000 sprint. Can you tell us about her and what you think about her options or opportunity?
Well, she's been doing well. She did, in my opinion, prefer the slightly softer ground in winter. The ground's firmed up a bit. I don't think she's at her best when the ground's like that. But in saying that, she looks amazing. She's had a good prep coming into this race. She has dropped a pound or two from her last start. And, you know, she's a competitive filly. She's never far off. So definitely a filly to look at in your larger, wider perms.
Wider perms. Okay, and so in terms of bankering on a PA, if you're playing a PA or a pick six, can you single out any or a few to help the punters along on when they play on Interbet?
I think from my side, Troy, I think it's quite difficult, this whole meeting. I do really like Princess Irene. I think she's a progressive filly, but she has a massive step to take. So, you know, I would definitely include her. I would probably put another horse with her. Same goes for Colita. I would go with her Colita, Clouds Unfold. And Charles, I think must definitely go in your PA, but obviously add a horse with him.
Okay, wonderful. And we will be doing a preview for Saturday's big day with the actual Queen's Plate and the other runners that we have there, another 12 to go through. Could you say if you are doing doubles or triples, anything on there that you might give a sneak for the guys before they watch the preview?
I think they must watch the preview, Troy, and see what we discuss tomorrow.
Something to look forward to.